Today, I'd like to take you on a journey into Rathmines. Rathmines is a middle-class simulation of the inner city. It's often been called Camden Street's hair extension, just with less drunk culties and more parched yoga moms perching over a park bench, drinking iced caramel lattes and pretending to keep an eye on their children. Rathmines is one of those places that I'd always gaze over at when I used to drink cans at the canal. I'd look over and I'd wonder, why the fuck is there a building there that looks like the Taj Mahal? And then I'd snap out of it and realise the building's probably looking back at me thinking, who's that lad in a weird tracksuit drinking Tesco lager by himself? People from Rathmines have their own language. They use phrases like flat dees and full of notions. These words were invented by Love in Dublin and they don't actually mean anything, but are often used to distinguish Rathminians from people from Harrow's Cross. Love in Dublin socially engineered the flat dees and the notions to make gentrification seem like an exciting new vegetable you'd find at the Fallon and Burn before it got shut down because the rent in Rathmines was so astronomical that no one had enough disposable income to spend €90 on a salad. Love in Dublin originally intended for Rathmines to be a hashtag. Rathmines has come on in leaps and bounds over the years. It used to be full of bedsits, and it still is. But the struggling families that once lived in the tenements have been replaced by disillusioned DIT students who thought they were supposed to be going to college in Ainger Street and instead shell out $650 a month to sleep on top of a wardrobe. The Swan Center in Rathmines is the most beautifully schizophrenic shopping experience available to the modern day consumer. Much like the Swan itself, upon being in its presence, you're taken aback by its elegance, but you never want to keep one as a pet, because they can strangle you if you get too close to them. In the Swan Center you can find everything you don't need. If it's unnecessary, you can be sure they have it here. There used to be 2 Starbucks in Rathmines, because the government thought that if there was twice as many Starbucks, people would drink twice as much coffee. But it didn't work out, because Starbucks ran Starbucks out of business. Now Starbucks is the only Starbucks left. The clock tower in Rathmines appeared one day out of nowhere, and everyone just pretended it was always there because they didn't want anyone else to realise they were slowly going insane. The clock has 4 faces, one for every day of the week. It's believed that if you look directly into the north face of the clock tower at 5 PM, it creates a dent in the symmetry of Rathminian reality, causing someone from Ranelagh to look directly at the clock and still ask you if you know what time it is. Because people from Ranelagh don't know how to read a clock. And you don't know how to tell people from Ranelagh to fuck off back to Ranelagh and stop following you. Rathmines also has a cinema, but it's a cinema full of lamps that serves cocktails in it. And then, in the form of social class guilt, they downplayed their privilege by calling it Stella. There's also an independent bookstore where the man behind the counter actually knows what he's talking about. Rathmines is home to the poshest McDonald's in Dublin. It's believed that after using the toilet, an automated message plays over the intercom saying, "Thank you, we cherish your toxic waste." Rathmines is also home to the Blackbird Pub, the cherished meeting place of Rathminian creatives. They congregate in this adult playground and talk about the podcast they're thinking of starting, while they clutch onto the jam jar that cradles the contents of some Canadian IPA they can't afford. Scientists believe they're trying to make it last as long as the dirty looks they get for still having a handlebar moustache at the age of 32. A lot of people from Rathgar are pretending to be from Rathmines, so no one knows they're actually from Rathgar. But if people knew they were from Rathgar, then no one would believe they're from Rathmines, because they aren't. The general rule of thumb here is, just because it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck doesn't mean it went to St. Mary's. These secret Rathgar natives give themselves away, because a true Rathminian would never carry a copy of the Irish Times around with them everywhere and brag about how many ski trips they went on with their cousin Marius over the last 5 years. A real Rathmines native would be too busy effortlessly blending into the smoking area of the Bernard Shaw, pretending they don't have a rich family and talking about how many times they almost died in Berlin. From Rathgar to Ranelagh, from Tramco to Lidl, Rathmines will continue to flourish as the multicultural mecca among the sleepy suburbs of Dublin 6. Namaste.